He wrote the book on gun violence. He's a recognized authority in this area, and he is going to share a few words with us, and then we'll have Mr. Lear also share some words with us, and we have some other clergy as well and some music.
Good afternoon, Shabbat Shalom. It's my honor, as always, to appear in front of this congregation. It's a high honor, as always, to appear alongside Rabbi Silver, and today alongside Mr. Norman Lear, who I believe is without peer as a producer. And I was just looking at his resume today. Very nice. Very impressive. And I think it's a sign of the critical moment in history that we're in. The people like Mr. Lear and Mr. Carl Reiner, for example, are stepping up to preserve the America that we have known and to ensure that the current dark period becomes a footnote in history. The horror in Pittsburgh was not just a mass shooting targeting a random group of strangers. That's bad enough. It was a hate crime against the Jewish community, one that leaves the entire community feeling vulnerable. Now, in my view, there's no question that the incitement coming from the White House is a contributing factor in the events in Pittsburgh and other events that we've seen in recent days. There are at least 4 organizations in the United States that track hate crimes and extremist violence. For example, the Anti-Defamation League, the FBI, the Southern Poverty Law Center, there's a Center for Hate and Extremism in California. At least 4 of those that have solid data that shows that we've seen a very sharp uptick in extremist violence and hate crime during the Trump era. So it's not just rhetoric, we're not just talking, there's some solid data to suggest that there's something going on here that's been encouraged and incited. People have been emboldened, the extremist community, due to actions and the rhetoric that's coming out of the White House. Now, no site has been spared in recent years as far as mass shootings are concerned. We've seen houses of worship, schools, clubs, concerts, malls, airports, and yesterday even a yoga studio, a place that's such a peaceful refuge for individuals being shot up. So we justifiably are all feeling vulnerable today. And the major concern for me is that our freedoms will erode with the continuing parade of mass shootings. You know, the National Rifle Association calls itself a champion of freedom. You know, they may be a champion for those individuals who want to have an unlimited array of weapons, including military-style weapons. But my concern is that this continuing parade of shootings will lead the public to tolerate more police powers, more surveillance by law enforcement, more searches as we enter many places, and the possibility that due to these rising fears, that we're more likely to tolerate demagogues who play on those fears and exploit those fears. It's of utmost importance, and I'd like to reinforce the message of the previous speaker, of utmost importance that we all vote. We encourage everybody we have influence over that we vote in these midterm elections. I don't think it's a platitude. There's a good reason to believe that this is truly the most important election in our lifetimes. That we vote and that we support candidates who make firm commitments to ensure that unstable individuals and extremists do not get their hands on lethal weapons. So I urge us all to vote and to ensure that we look at the platforms of candidates, and we take into account not just other issues. There are many worthy issues, such as healthcare, the environment, and so forth, but that we take a look at the specific commitments that candidates make and base our vote on that, their positions in relation to gun violence. Thank you.